Wow, my voice. Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry, I'm a teacher and so I use my voice a lot and so it's kind of gone, but also I'm a little bit sick. I am here today to bring you my August/September book review. I'm a little bit sad because I've been very busy, and so quick synopsis, I started a resolution this year that I was going to read one book a month for the whole year, and I've been giving reviews on my books every month, and it's just been like really fun and a good way for me to like continuously read throughout the year. August and September were kind of a wash, and I read one book really over the course of those 2 months. For now, I'm not going to count it a total loss though, because I read 2 books in the month of May, and so technically I'm still up to 9 books for 9 months. Anyhow, so August, September, whatever you want to call it, the book of the month was Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng, I believe is how you say that. I'm really not sure. This is a New York Times bestseller, and one of the other reasons that I really wanted to read it was because they are going to be making a mini-series on this. I want to say it's going to be on HBO, maybe Hulu, I don't know which network, but it's going to be produced by Kerry Washington and Reese Witherspoon, and I think they're also both going to be in it, and I think it's going to be kind of similar. I don't know, not that the storyline is similar, but it kind of reminds me of how they did the mini-series with Big Little Lies, which was another really good book, and Reese Witherspoon was a part of that. So the way I do my book reviews here is I give you like a very general answer on whether or not I would recommend it, and then I will expand a little bit more on the actual book. So for people who have never read it, I'm going to give you kind of some info, and then for people who have read it and maybe want my opinion. Okay, so I'm gonna start by saying that I definitely highly recommend this book. It was really, really good. It was unique. It was different than kind of any other book that I've read so far this year. It was not quite like a thriller or a mystery, but it definitely had an element to it where you were like very intrigued and trying to figure out what was going on. Another thing I liked about it is that it took place in like the 90s. Did it take place in the early 90s? Or like the late 80s? No, I think it was in the 90s at the time. But anyway, part of me thought that was going to like really come to fruition and be like a big part of the plot. It really wasn't. I just kind of liked that it just happened to take place a little bit further back. It was just kind of fun. Okay, now if you want to read this, maybe stop watching. I'm not going to give like too many spoilers, but I'm just going to talk a little bit more. So this book is about a family that lives in a city in, where is it? Cleveland. Yeah, so it's in Ohio. It's a city called Shaker Heights, which apparently is a real place. My friend Brittany lives in Ohio, or she's from Ohio. And what did I say? She lives in Ohio? I don't know. She's from there. And Shaker Heights, I guess, is a real city. And the way it's described in the book is that it was like this perfectly planned, manufactured, kind of like cookie cutter place. And there's an actual excerpt, I think, at the very beginning from a magazine in, let me see, Cosmopolitan magazine, March 1963. And it talks about, all things considered, people from Shaker Heights are basically pretty much like people everywhere else in America. They may have 3 or 4 cars instead of 1 or 2, and they may have 2 television sets instead of 1. Blah, 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 there's more. But these are all differences of degree rather than fundamental difference. So the point is, Shaker Heights is supposed to be this basically perfect town. Small, like wealthy, suburban, everybody does things the right way there, everybody follows the rules, and like that was a real magazine excerpt from the 60s. So people there, yeah, it's just a certain way. And so there's this family, the Richardson family, right? I think that's their name. Yes. And they have mom, dad, and 4 kids. You hear about the 4 kids. They are all high school aged. And then, okay, so the Richardson family has a second home in Shaker Heights that they rent out as like a guest, you know, rental property or whatever. And they stumble upon a mother-daughter duo that, I forget exactly how they meet. I think the little girl comes to the high school, but the mom decides to kind of like slightly change her rules on who she wants in her rental house. Not that there was anything really wrong with the mom and the daughter, but you know how there's like rental requirements, you have to make a certain amount of money to get approved for a lease and stuff like that. And the mom and the daughter didn't quite meet those standards or whatever, but the Richardson mom decided to like do it for them. And so the mom and the daughter move into this house, and the mom, her name is Mia, and the daughter's name is Pearl, and then there's the Richardson family. Mia starts to work for the Richardsons. I want to say maybe that was part of the agreement they worked out. She like comes over and she'll kind of tidy the house and make dinners and stuff like that. And again, I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say that Mia and Pearl shake things up, no pun intended, in Shaker Heights quite a bit. The Richardson children are very enamored with both Mia and Pearl. Like, some of the kids are more enamored with one of those characters than the other or whatever, but they just really affect them a lot. And there's also this really interesting court case going on in the town at the time that has to do with like a custody issue, and the Richardson dad is the prosecuting attorney, I think. Yeah, not the defense attorney, but so it's like all those things intertwine, and it's one of those books where it starts with like the end kind of, and so you already have this knowledge right away. Well, do I want to tell you? It's literally like in the first paragraph. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because now if I were to sit here and read this first page again, like, it's telling you all this information that you don't really know anything about yet, but it's telling you, and then it kind of backtracks and tells you like how you got there, you know what I mean? So I don't want to spoil too much, but I hope I piqued your interest. Either way, I definitely recommend it, especially if you're interested in watching the miniseries. I think it's going to be really fun to see what they do, like how they make it different, how they make it the same, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And it wasn't like the quickest, easiest read. I mean, it took me 2 months, but that was partially just because I was like busy and stuff. And it's at no fault of the book. It's just, I don't know, I didn't find it as breezy and easy to zip through as some of my other kind of, I don't know for any particular reason. Maybe just because the storyline jumps around and you kind of have to focus. But it's not like hard reading at all, but it just took me a little bit of time. But it was really good. I recommend. I hope that if you liked this video, you'll give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you are feeling generous. I don't know, if you feel like you want to. I talk about books roughly once a month here on my channel, but normally it's all things beauty, lifestyle, etc. So thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye.